Parker, there is time to salvage the situation. Parker,
shut your pie hole.
Or what? Ranger Rick.
Ranger Rick. That's a deep cut Gen X reference right there. Hi everyone, welcome to Old Lady Reacts. I'm the old lady, otherwise known as Michelle in Minneapolis. I'm a huge movie buff who's seen pretty much everything. I even worked at a video store for a few years, but I somehow skipped over an entire genre of movies. So I created this reaction channel where I react to action and superhero movies and TV shows that I'm viewing for the first time. And today I'm going to react to Avatar. I'm not sure why I didn't see this movie when it came out. I mean, I kind of have an idea because I wasn't really that interested. I didn't love Titanic, which I saw in the theater when it first came out with friends. I enjoyed it, and I guess I thought that it was amazing visually. The plot made sense and all that, but the dialogue just didn't fit the characters and the time frame in which the movie took place. I was visually interested in what was happening on the screen, but emotionally I felt almost nothing. Until the moment way at the end when you see all the pictures of Kate Winslet's character like riding horses and exploring the desert and sailing a boat and flying planes and all the things that she was able to do because she met Jack and was like set free from the horrible marriage that, you know, seemed inevitable at the beginning of the movie. You knew she was going to be miserable and then she actually had a happy life. I thought that was really a nice touch. So I know like James Cameron can like create moments of true emotion and connection, but that doesn't always seem like it's his main focus. Like his ideas never seem to stem from a great story. Like with Titanic, his impetus for making that film was that he wanted to explore the real wreck site of the Titanic and he didn't want to pay for it. So he came up with a movie that he could use the footage for and convince the studio to foot the bill. Like I had heard at the time too that like Avatar stemmed from a similar like kind of outside desire to develop this technology, and he just came up with a story that would use the tech so that the studios would pay for it. But I don't know if that's actually true because I can't find any evidence of that online now, so maybe that was a myth at the time. But it's basically like, it sounds to me like action films when they have a great idea for an action sequence and then they have to like bend this story to meet that. It's like the action doesn't serve the story is like compromised to serve the action. And it just leaves plot holes and emotional disconnectedness that you can't fill in afterwards. So, you know, but then James Cameron also made the original Point Break. He directed that. So, and that's a great film. I've always enjoyed that film. So maybe I should just shut up and watch the movie so I can just see if I can like it. And I want to like it. I do really want to like it. So we'll see how it does. So right before we get started, please support my channel by subscribing so you can find me easily and watch more of my videos. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the bell to be notified when I post the next reaction. I also have an Instagram now, and the link for that is downstairs in the description. So let's dive into Avatar.
I was free. Sooner or later, though, you always have to wake up.
Well, that's true enough. Floating? Okay. Oh, we're in like in space or something. Okay.
Tell me, was a scientist.
That's cool looking. Oh. That's cool. Is that Earth or is that's where they're going? That looks like Earth to me. Looks like 2001.
Hey, is good.
Marines fighting for freedom.
CGI is a little bit old, but I'm going with it.
As head of security, it is my job to keep you alive.
Okay, I want to know what caused those scars on the side of his head.
And they're grown from human DNA mixed with the DNA of the natives.
I don't know that any of the voiceover is really necessary.
This is why we're here. Unobtainium.
Unobtainium? It seems a little on the nose.
We're on the brink of war, and you're supposed to be finding a diplomatic solution. So use what you've got and get me some results.
Yeah, I won't say I'm impressed with the dialogue, but you know, it seems like it's going pretty good so far.
6,
wow.
Listen to me, for your own safety, you need to sit down. You need time to adjust to the Jake, watch it down. Jake.
So maybe listen to the people who know what they're doing before you break everything.
Grace?
Well, who'd you expect, numbnuts? Think fast.
Really?
You walk like one of her science pukes. You quack like one. But you report to me. Can you do that for me, son?
It's rather cliche, I guess. I don't hate it, but I wish it was better thought out. The whole, like, you know, our military general versus science thing. I mean, it's a bit cliche. So of course I'm already rethinking in my head how you could make it work a little bit better.
Just hold your ground.
So it's a rhinoceros with a hammerhead shark head.
So what about this one? Run? Don't run? What?
Run! Definitely run!
Okay, so why didn't she say that while it was distracted with the other animals? So do they really only need those bodies so that they can breathe? Like why? I guess I'm not sure why if they're doing, you know, just recon and their blue things know that they're there. Why do they need that to be robots in the bodies? What is that thing? The little jellyfish not in the ocean. And so why is she in shorts and the guys are in a flak jacket and long pants and all that? Like, she seems rather unnecessarily sexualized. It would be cool to watch this in 3D, I gotta say.
Where are we going?
Maybe don't hit things as you're passing them. Just slap the greenery, like, leave it alone. The subtitles are in Papyrus. So bad. And subtitles in Papyrus font. Oh dear.
What's going on?
So is this Dances with Wolves, basically? It feels like Dances with Wolves. Except, like, the women are even more sexualized in this movie than they were in that one. I'm gonna laugh every time there's subtitles now. Papyrus. Oh, God. Sorry, it's the graphic designer in me. I can't help it.
Find out what the blue monkeys want. You know, I mean, we tried to give them medicine, education, road.
They probably want to be left alone. This is not rocket science.
Happens to be resting on the richest unobtainium deposit within 200 clicks in any direction.
They couldn't find the Latin word for unobtainable and use that or something more complicated.
A2 can.
A2 Khan. He's the clan leader, but she's the spiritual leader, like a shaman.
Got it.
I mean, yeah, they're stand-in for all Native Americans. I think we get it. Yum 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 yum.
Yep, we're in the flux vortex.
Or VFR from here on.
What's VFR?
The exposition is really bad. It seems odd that she's smoking, like, as a scientist. That does seem weird, but all right. That looks like Jurassic Park.
It's their most sacred place. I would die to get samples.
Yeah, let's take pieces of it. It's their most sacred place. Let's just, like, grab some pieces. That would be great.
Everything is backwards now. Like out there is the true world, and in here is the dream.
I feel like they should have shown that instead of telling it.
I don't know who I am anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that happened rather abruptly, of like him suddenly having issues. I don't think I've seen Fern Gully, but I feel like that's like what Fern Gully is. Like, none of this seems particularly original. It's what I'm trying to say.
We call these three Sutraya Mokri, the tree of voices.
Did she say anything besides exposition? She doesn't have much purpose beyond like telling him all this stuff about themselves. Seems rather human of them, and rather binary. What if they, don't you think that they're so evolved? You think they'd have more than one gender or more than two genders?
Hey! Stop! Stop! Jack! Go back! Stop!
So weren't they supposed? I'm confused, I guess, because weren't they supposed to like negotiate with them to get them to move off of the land? Like I don't. Did they not know that he wasn't one of them? Like, that's what I'm confused. Like,
Parker, there is time to salvage the situation. Parker,
Shut your pie hole.
Or what? Ranger Rick.
Ranger Rick. That's a deep cut Gen X reference right there.
The Na'vi know that, and they are fighting to defend it. If you want to share this world with them, you need to understand.
Yeah, I don't think they want to share anything.
I'll drive them out with gas first. It'll be humane. More or less.
Yeah, more or less. How about less? I'm guessing less.
That is one big damn tree.
That's some genius dialogue right there. I'm still laughing about the Papyrus font. Oh. So yeah, what happens if their avatar dies while they're like in the avatar?
Solid rocks on target.
Screw this.
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
I didn't sign up for this shit.
Well, and especially since it's like the military doing this, like, so that a corporation can get the natural resources. Like, it doesn't seem like the government's getting the natural resources. Like, what, or maybe they're just like, maybe they're the company's military. Maybe they're not the actual military. They're just like fighting forces that the company owns. Oh, here I was hoping that maybe it was like self-healing or something, and not like a wood tree that could be burned down. It seems rather Earth-like of it to not be made of something other than wood that can just be burned down and set on fire and it burned down. Are they all going to be sorry now?
It's good work, people. First round's on me tonight.
So they really never did try to negotiate anything, did they? Like, I didn't see any discussions about that at all. I don't think those are the kind of doors you can just kick open.
Why would they help us?
It's a good question. It is pretty. I haven't said much about the scenery. I mean, it is gorgeous, 45 minutes left. She's just conveniently covered in vines. Why doesn't she just have her clothes on?
You ride out as fast as the wind can carry you.
Kamakto ni wind. Anatis pivuleo el.
You tell the other clans to come.
So there have been other clans all this time, and nobody came to help them or rescue them or anything, or fight together? This is the first time they've decided to fight together?
This is Papa Dragon. I want this mission high and tight. I want to be home for dinner.
He's pretty one note, that the general guy. Like, really? Do you have any other anything else besides kill, kill, kill? Like, it's very General Zod of him.
Keep her in your sights, Sealy. I'm on all pods.
I feel like the general should be in a chair, strapped in, you know? He's just the ship's going like this and he's just standing there, he's no problem. Arr, arr. Oh, are we gonna have a fist fight between the two of them? Yeah, there's going to be a big fist fight between the two of them. This is just like Superman, or Man of Steel, I should say. Oh, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, okay, got it. Damn. Okay. Dang it. He couldn't just suffocate? That would just have been much more convenient. Well, don't push your chair. Oh, you need to stay. Well, shouldn't have pushed your chair away and you might have been able to reach it. So could she put him in the thing and then he'd his brain would go into the other avatar and then he could if his other body died then he'd stay in the avatar? What happens if one of them dies? Well, he shouldn't just be let go to go back home, dude. No, he's the one that started all this or was in charge of all this. That was not terribly subtle. I mean, it's basically Dances with Wolves meets anti-colonial revisionist fantasy with bad dialogue, stock characters, representations of the female purely for the male gaze, and a mishmash of cultural appropriation. I mean, okay, so I will say this. Visually, it really is an accomplishment. And I know that the technology for that kind of motion capture CGI was just coming into its own at this time, and it is used to wonderful effect here. I would have loved to see some of the landscape scenes in 3D. I think that would have been really cool. And I can imagine this movie would have been pretty mind-blowing in 2009, but that kind of CGI is widely used now. And I've just seen it so many times before that it's hard to be impressed by it. And especially since I don't see much in this film beyond the visual. I wasn't involved in the story or the characters at all. So Titanic, the story just isn't unique enough and the characters aren't well written enough to make me care about them. Neytiri does nothing but act as a guide for Jake and his own emotional journey. She's nothing but a sounding board for him. The dialogue between them there's nothing but her telling the native history and culture so that we can experience it through this outsider's point of view. I could go on and on about all the weird things in this movie that made me feel really squiggy. The plot, the dialogue, the limited gender imagining, able-bodied actor playing a disabled character, like all of that. But it's like 12:30, and I don't know that I care about this movie at all. If you really want to hear everything I have to say, like, write in the comments. You know, ask me questions in the comments. I'll go into it later, but it's late, so yeah. Visually stunning movie, fatally flawed in a lot of ways. So thanks so much for watching my reaction. Please take a moment to subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and the bell button to be notified when I post the next movie reaction. Thanks for watching with me.